Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rocha, Kodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Banyasharala of the Lions Den Camp, here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the sincere Akim, pushing this truth in sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today I'll be coming out a lesson, and it is on this article. And it says, Iran's president to Trump, I will not negotiate. Do whatever the hell you want. And as you can see, it's straight up. You know, Iran is a military state. And Esau keep japping and jabbing at Iran. It's not going to turn out well. Let's continue. It says President Masoud Pezeshkian said Iran would not negotiate with the U.S. while being threatened, telling President Trump to do whatever the hell you want. Iranian state media reported on Tuesday. It is unacceptable for us that the U.S., gives orders and makes threats. I won't even negotiate with you. Do whatever the hell you want. State media quoted Pezeshkian as saying. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei said on Saturday that Tehran would not be bullied into negotiations, a day after Trump said he had sent a letter urging Iran to engage in talks on a new nuclear deal. While expressing openness to a deal with Tehran, Trump has reinstated the maximum pressure campaign he applied in his first term as president to isolate Iran from the global economy and drive its oil exports down towards zero, more like down to zero. And in an interview with Fox Business, Trump said last week, there are two ways Iran can be handled. See, this devil trying to handle Mother Hubbards instead of dealing. Militarily, or you make a deal to prevent Tehran from acquiring nuclear weapons. Iran has long denied wanting to develop a nuclear weapon. However, it is dramatically accelerating enrichment of uranium up to 60% purity, close to the roughly 90% weapons grade level. The IAEA has warned. Iran has accelerated its nuclear work since 2019, a year after then President Trump ditched Tehran's 2015 nuclear pact with 6 world powers and reimposed sanctions that have crippled the country's economy. So there you go. This devil, he deals treacherously against those. He go against those that are at peace with him. And at one point in time, Iran had entered into a nuclear deal with Babylon America, and what did Nero do? Nero Trump pulled out of the deal. So now Babylon America is trying basically Donald Trump's trying to bully like America does to every other country. Iran into negotiations, and Iran's like, nah, we ain't finna do that. And this ain't nothing but war. This is the drums of war beating. That's all this is. Let's start out, and then Salaki, I ain't got no title for it, this lesson, but let's continue. Let's start out with Joel chapter 3. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. But that's what's happening. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. So proclaim this among the heathen, the Gentiles, prepare for war. And that's what's going on. These other nations are preparing for war. The mighty men of these nations are waking up. The Lord is waking these mighty men up, the generals, the soldiers, the admirals, the colonels, the sergeants, all that, and they're getting ready for war, and they're drawing near because they know what's finna go down. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong, meaning get ready, prepare weapons. what it is, retrofit and or upgrade or equip with weapons of war. Back then, I used the 90s term, WMDs, weapons of mass destruction. That's what's going on. These other nations are preparing. They're beating their plowshares into swords and their pruning hooks into spears. These other nations that were once looked at as weak, they are now saying, I am strong. We are going to fight as well. Continuing, verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. Gather yourselves together round about thither. Cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord Yahweh. So, again, assemble yourselves, all ye heathen. These nations, that's what's happening with these heathen. They're assembling themselves together. They're preparing to get down and dirty, as the saying goes. They're getting ready to attack. It is what it is. What? Babylon, America. Because of the tomfoolery that's going on. And this is only going to get worse. It is what it is. No matter what the current administration does in the power seat, it is only going to get worse. It is not going to get better. Anything that the current administration does is just a proverbial nail in the coffin. It will not get better. Let's continue. Verse 12. It says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. For there will I, Salakia, sit to judge all the heathen round about. And it's talking about the Lord. When they fighting World War III, that's what this is leading up to. World War III. Anything and everything that Babylon America does to these other nations, any moves that these other nations make, is preparation and headed to World War III. That's why it says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. That's Yahweh Shaphat. Over there in the east. That's where all the nations are going to gather. That's where they're going to be fighting at. The Euphrates, all that's done dried up now. The Lord done dried all that up because that's the battleground. That's an ancient battleground. And guess what? It's a modern day battleground too. Because that's where all these nations are going to be fighting at. In the valley of Jehoshaphat. And the Lord says, for there will he sit to judge all the heathen round about. He's going to take these nations down. And after he take these nations down, he's going to allow Babylon America to be jacked up as well. Verse 13, put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. Meaning judgment is coming. It's going to be judgment. It's going to overflow. It's going to be like people pressing grapes in a wine press. So much grapes is saying it's overflowing. Meaning that's what's going to happen. Judgment is coming. Multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near. In the valley of decision, the day of the Lord is judgment and war and destruction and gloominess. No brightness in it. No rainbows, no ponies, no honey buns, no coffee cakes, nothing sweet about it. The Lord finna come break a proverbial foot off in this devil's behind and destroy wickedness on the earth. Let's continue. I'm going to go to Habakkuk. This is Habakkuk chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So this devil transgresseth by his wine, his treaties, his laws, and everything that he makes up, because this devil is a proud man. And the fact that, according to this article, we already know Nero Trump is a very prideful Mother Hubbard. He's a proud man. He don't keep at home, as you see, trying to bully Iran You know, these devils, they don't mind their business. That is something that Esau does not do. He don't stay in his own lane. That's why it says he keepeth not at home, and he does who enlargeth his desire as hell. Hell is the grave. People die every day, yet the grave is not satisfied. It is not satiated. That's how this devil is. And this devil is as death and cannot be satisfied. No matter what you do, this devil can't be satisfied. And this devil is always trying to heap unto himself all people and all nations. Come unto me. Do what I want. Follow me. I'm the leader. A BN move. If you know any hood terminology, you know what BN is. It's Iggers. Let's continue. It says, verse 6, shall not these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe unto him that increases that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So in these other nations, that's what's going on. They're taking up a parable against this devil, a taunting proverb. And as you can see right here, I will not negotiate. Do whatever the hell you want. That's a taunting proverb against this devil. And these other nations are going to say, woe to him that increases in that which is not his. And this devil stays increasing in things that do not belong to him. How long is this devil going to do this? And he laden himself with thick clay debt. This devil is so far in the hole, so deep in doo-doo, as the terminology goes, that he ain't gonna be able to get out. But thick clay thick clay is talking about debt. Verse 7, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee? Thou shalt be for booties unto them. And this is a question. And it's asking, are not these other nations going to suddenly rise up and attack this devil? Bite this devil and awake and vex this devil? Shall not this devil be for booties, i.e. treasure, plunder, gain for these other heathen nations? That's a question. The question is, the answer is yes. That everything, all that's going to happen to this devil. It is what it is. Because this devil, why? Verse 8, because thou hast spoiled many nations, and all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land and of the city and of all that dwell therein. So because this devil has spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people have shed men's blood in violence in these various lands around the four corners of the earth and the cities and all that dwell therein. So guess what? That means this devil is going to get the same thing back. These other nations don't care nothing about America. America does not scare these other nations. America does not have the same power it had 10, 20 years ago. Even though people here in Babylon, America, foolishly, those who are not in the know, foolishly think that can't no other nation touch Babylon, America. Psh, that died. That's been gone. That's been over with. And we are seeing the effects of it before our very eyes on a daily basis through these articles, through alternative news media. Babylon, America isn't even a former shell of itself. We are watching this devil go down just like he went down before during the Roman Empire. We are in the feet of the statue that Nebuchadnezzar had, that dream he had in the vision. We're in the feet. And clay don't, you know what I'm saying, in the feet. And clay don't mix with iron. Iron don't mix with clay. So guess what? Partly strong and partly weak. And that's what's going on right now. That's where we at. And we're watching and seeing the downfall of a sinful kingdom, just like the Lord said he would do. Let's continue. This last point. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 4. Thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased. And this is that proverb against the king of Babylon. Who's the king of Babylon right now? Trump. He's the king of Babylon. And this proverb that's being taken up against this place is that this place is going to be utterly vanquished. The Lord's going to drop the big boom. The oppressor is going to cease. This golden city is going to be over with. Verse 5. The Lord Yahweh hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. So the Lord is taking the power from these devils and giving it to these other nations. That's why they are ramping up. They're standing up, as it says, bowing up against America, swollen up against America. Or should I say swelling up against America, like what you finna do. Ready to rumble. Verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindereth. So we are seeing that before our very eyes. This devil smote the whole earth in wrath, in anger. He oppressed nations. Now guess what? This devil is being persecuted and none hindereth. Shame is being on this devil. Shame is being put on this devil by the Lord. And these other nations are laughing, poking fun at this devil. If you don't do this, we're gonna the other nations like whatever. Get the F on. You ain't finna do nothing. Cause what this devil doesn't understand, Iran is a part of BRICS. And if you run up on Iran, you're gonna run up on China, you're gonna run up on Russia, you're gonna run up on Brazil, you're gonna run up on South Africa. So it is what it is. This devil has no more power in the earth like he think he does. I know I said that was my last point, but I'm looking. But yeah, this devil is persecuted, and when this devil starts to really go down, ain't nobody gonna jump to help him keep him from going down. To help keep him from going down. Verse 9, last point. Maybe. Hell from beneath is moved to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Even all the chief ones of the earth it has raised up from their thrones. All the kings of the nations. So hell, the grave, destruction, judgment, woe is moved from beneath to meet this devil at his coming. Babylon, America, and its constituents, and all of Adawam are going to what? Go down into hell. It's stirring up what? It's stirring up the dead. Even all what? The chief ones of the earth. These other nations. They're getting ready. This rage is like what? It has raised these other nations up from their thrones, all the kings of the nations. So it is what it is. The more this administration in Babylon, America, try anything, the worse the situation is going to get. These other nations done been risen up. The Lord didn't allow these other nations to come up. The Lord done roused them off their throne. They're getting ready. So it is what it is. And that same sentiment that in this article, other nations are going to take that same sentiment up and come against this place. And with that, shalom.